The storm has now arrived.
Hi guys, it's StormBoy13 here. Today's video, thank you very much for the request. I forgot to check your channel name, so apologies for that. Maybe sometimes you may not want to be having your channel mentioned. But anyways, yes, today's video, hopefully this should be uploaded before the next day, since I was very slow uploading the weather forecast weekend video. But it should be up tonight, well, as you were watching at this. Today's video is going to be about, will a hurricane ever hit the UK? It's a great request, and because the hurricanes have been a big name, I would say, throughout the last few weeks, with Hurricane Harvey, Hurricane Irma, and of course Hurricane Jose, and I think there's Hurricane Maria, also affecting, potentially threatening parts of the Caribbean. But generally we're going to focus on the UK today. When is hurricane season? Can we get hurricanes in the UK? Well, this is very interesting of what I'm going to read next. So, here we go. As we know, people considering travelling to hurricane regions should carefully consider when to travel and the dangers that it may cause. Now, interestingly, as you know, I was in Florida, in Orlando, from late August to beginning of September. This is the most likely time to get caught by a hurricane. So to that, getting a hurricane a few days after the holiday, that's quite lucky. I mean, if we were in holiday a few days later, because we left on Tuesday, September 5th, a couple of days later, the airports would have had to be closed due to the safety of the remnants of the winds and the way the jet stream has been picking up. We literally potentially could have been screwed. So we were very lucky that day, that holiday. So, but although it wasn't the most deadliest hurricane, thankfully Central Florida's witnessed, still several trees down, power lines blocking roads, and power outages lasted for about a week. So as we know, as witnessed with Hurricanes Irma and Harvey, inland areas far from the coastline can experience destructive winds, severe rain, flash flooding, and mudslides from tropical storms. So hurricanes are clearly a primary concern at the moment, but typhoons and cyclones have similar characteristics and are also an issue across the globe, where different terms are used. So we know in the Atlantic and Northeast Pacific the term hurricane is used. Northwest Pacific it is called a typhoon. Cyclones occur in the South Pacific and Indian Ocean. Fortunately though, it is unlikely that these natural disasters will occur year-round. They all have specific seasons in which they are much more likely to happen. So typically, hurricane season runs from the beginning of June to the end of November. However, depending on where it occurs, they may develop outside of these periods. Typhoon season typically runs from April to December, and cyclone season runs from November to April. So it's generally all year round storms across parts, well, globally really. There have been a growing trend in the quantity and intensity of hurricanes in the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, the Caribbean Sea and the Gulf of Mexico. In 2013, 10 out of 32 named storms became hurricanes. 13 out of 31 named storms became typhoons, and 5 cyclones developed between 2012 and 2013. So this is the main question that you're all wanting to know. Can we get hurricanes in the UK? The UK is very rarely affected by hurricanes because for a storm to be recognised as a hurricane, it has to be the result of low pressure over tropical or subtropical water with winds of at least 74 miles per hour. Hurricanes don't often hit the UK because these series of low storms are accumulated over warm tropical oceans. Britain is nowhere near tropical oceans. So what about the storms we experience? The UK can still feel the remnants of hurricanes, often from pressure travelling across the Atlantic. In 2014, the UK experienced the aftermath of Hurricane Gonzalo. I think it was in October, or was it in August? I can't remember which one. And subsequently, the high winds caused a tree to fall in Knightsbridge, which killed one woman as she walked to work. But what about the Great Storm of 1987? I did mention that early in the year. Unfortunately, this storm killed 18 people, with winds reaching up to 100 miles per hour. However, because the storm did not originate from the Atlantic, this could not be classed as a hurricane. Hurricane is a tropical warm core system without fronts. The 1987 storm was a tempered latitude low pressure system with fronts and several distant air masses, albeit an exceptionally violent one, with hurricane type force winds sustained over coastal areas for several hours. Although the UK doesn't really experience hurricanes, however, Now, don't expect this to be true because this is on Mirror. So, which, if you don't know what that is the brand of a newspaper. And I do not want any ads playing at all. So, anyways, Britain is facing potentially a stormy autumn with a record 7 storms with 90 miles per hour winds set to hit the UK before Christmas. Following on from the damage and disruption of Storm Eileen, forecasters predict hurricane force 90 miles per hour plus winds could batter Britain. Britain is facing its stormiest autumn for years, with a record 7 storms forecast to batter the country by Christmas, with 90 miles per hour winds forecasters have claimed. As the public recover from storms Eileen's 83 miles per hour battering this week, 6 more named storms have been forecast before December 25th. Just 3 named storms hit before Christmas in 2016, 1 more than in 2015, the first year UK storms were named. However, experts at AccuWeather believe this year could be one of the stormiest in recent times. So basically the company made its projection after assessing UK storm totals in every year since 1997, the year I was born, plus selected years back to 1940 with similar pressure patterns to this autumn. The Met Office, which names UK storms, does not go as far as predicting a total of named storms, but confirmed a stormy autumn would be expected. Its 3-month autumn forecast warns of one of the stormiest parts of the year ahead. Gusts over 90 miles per hour were forecast by the weather company in coming storms. Brits will face travel woes with road and rail disruption, often from toppled trees and flooding, as well as high winds causing flight delays, big waves boating ferries and properties facing damage. AccuWeather forecast Tyler Roy said Britain could easily have 7 storms named by the Met Office by Christmas. Storms' impacts are likely to be significant. A more active autumn and early winter storm period is expected this year due to a positive North Atlantic oscillation. Forecasters say this autumn will have a big difference between low pressure near Iceland and high pressure near the Azores, known as a positive North Atlantic oscillation. This triggers more powerful high altitude Atlantic jet stream winds, which catapult more storms at Britain. The weather company head of meteorological operations Leon Brown said gusts are likely to top 90 miles per hour in November and December in exposed western coastal regions. Storms likely to bring 70 miles per hour gusts inland across northern Britain, with 60 miles per hour wind gusts over central and southeastern Britain, which that is not far off from Category 1 hurricane storm. In 2016, Storm Agnes on November 20th saw floods to sever the London to the southwest rail line as 81 mile per hour wind gusts stranded a passenger ferry in the channel. While Storm Barbara on December 23rd and 24th delayed Christmas travellers with gusts up to 83 miles per hour, 2015 101 mile per hour Abigail hit on November 12th 13th. Desmond killed 3 and flooded 5,200 homes with a record 341mm deluge in 24 hours in Cumbria on December 5th and 6th, and Eva caused Christmas Eve travel misery with floods following across Yorkshire and Lancashire. So there you go. That's all I've got to tell you today. So there's your answer. No, the UK very rarely gets hit by a hurricane, but and it's not really known as a hurricane, but it can get hurricane force like winds very rarely. And we could be facing a stormy autumn, but it's unlikely we're seeing a hurricane because the ocean temperature is not warm enough. So there's your answer. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Wednesday's video will be plans for 2018. This will be a really important one, so make sure you get those comments ready because I will definitely need them. Just early planning thinking. Want me to do any more videos for the rest of the week ahead? Want me to do any global weather forecasting, extreme UK weather events, or weather vlogging? Comment below. That will be really handy. And that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a like, comment, and subscribe. And the storm is now out.